And now to our headlines today. Special, nearly 300 passengers perished when their plane is shot out of the sky. Airlines suspend flights to Israel's largest airport after rocket attacks. 2 airliners crashed during storms. Aviation has suffered one of its worst weeks in a long time. A cluster of disasters spanning 3 continents. Are airlines becoming less safe, or is the frequency of accidents going to increase as the industry grows? Here's looking back at the worst week in aviation history.
The third week of July 2014 will go down as the deadliest week in commercial aviation history, and here's why. 3 flights, starting from the 17th of July, the last one on the 24th of July, crashing, killing at least 459 people. MH17, flying from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur, came down in the country of Ukraine after being hit by a surface-to-air missile. 295 people were on board. Then came the crash of Trans-Asia Flight 222, flying from the main island of Taiwan to an island just off its coast, killing 48 people, including some on the ground. And finally, Air Algerie Flight 5017 on the 24th of July. It was going from Burkina Faso to Algeria when it came down in the Sahara Desert in Mali. At least 116 people were on board. We want to deconstruct each of these disasters with the help of some maps for you. And we start with flight MH17. It was flying from Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur International Airport when it came down and was passing over the country of Ukraine. Well, we're going to zoom in right now to eastern Ukraine and specifically look at one particular town in this region called Torres, right over here. Torres is a small town, it's a mining town, and it's surrounded by fields, as you can see over here. Western intelligence agencies now believe that Ukrainian rebels, eastern Ukrainian rebels, backed by the government of Russia, fired a surface-to-air missile at this particular aircraft, believing that it was a Ukrainian Air Force jet. Now, the aircraft was flying at 33,000 feet at the time when it was hit. Its debris and all the passengers' bodies on board scattered all over this area, and that's why it's been so hard to find each of those 295 bodies. That's also one reason why the cleanup and as well as the salvage operation will take weeks, if not months. We want to go next to the TNA 222 flight. It was flying from the main island of Taiwan, as you can see, to a small island just across the straits over there, also a part of Taiwan. It took off from Kaohsiung International Airport. It was a very short flight going 130 odd kilometers across the sea over there to the island of Pangu. What we do know is that there was a terrible storm in this particular area on the evening of that flight. The plane had already made one pass and failed to land on that particular pass because of the high winds and rain. It was coming around for a second landing, and that's when it fell short on the runway because of the high winds. The runway, as you can see, starting just about here, it fell short and it crashed, unfortunately, in this particular area over here, killing 48 people, some of them on the ground. The final crash that we want to look at is the crash of flight AH5017. It was flying from Burkina Faso to Algeria over there and flying over the Sahara Desert here in Mali. Now, what happened again was the flight was taking a detour to avoid a storm system that had come up during that particular flight. It came down, experts believe, in this 450-kilometer stretch of the Sahara Desert. This is the town of Gao over here and the town of Tessalit over here. And rescuers are now searching this entire stretch of desert for the wreckage of the plane. As we said earlier, the 24th of July bringing to an end one of the worst weeks in commercial aviation history. The only possible silver lining is we understand exactly what went wrong in each of these 3 flights, and hopefully those circumstances may never repeat again. Pierre Fitter for Headlines Today.